Longview apartment complex leaves one man dead and another hurt, and police say the suspect is still on the run. The latest on the investigation coming up.
And new details this morning on the assassination of political activist Charlie Kirk, when the suspect could face a judge for the first time, straight ahead.
Plus, the Hawkeye wave like you've never seen it. Hundreds of families affected by childhood cancer are getting the ultimate stadium experience. How this nonprofit is making it happen, straight ahead.
And we're looking at another hot and humid day with a couple of rain showers possible this afternoon. We'll go over the latest forecast details in your forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Well, authorities continue to investigate the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University last week. The suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, remains in custody under close watch and could make his first court appearance as soon as tomorrow. We'll have more on this investigation and the tributes pouring in just a few minutes. Good morning, all. Thanks so much for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez.
We're so glad you're with us. I'm Dana Dixon. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We're going to head over to Joel Robinson in the Weather Center. He's keeping a track of things as we get ready to start a new week.
That's right. I do think, excuse me, but that, yeah, I do think we are going to be looking at kind of the same weather as we saw over the weekend, just the hot, the humid conditions out there with a slight chance for some rain showers. A look at Tyler this morning. Clear skies overhead. Temperatures starting out in the middle 60s, low 70s in some spots. Very comfortable as you head outside. But by this afternoon, we'll be making our way up into the upper 80s by the time we get to noon. We'll have a couple more clouds. I don't think it'll be necessarily sunny all the way through. I do think we'll have a mixture of clouds and sun into this afternoon. We'll see highs near 91 degrees, and that trend will continue all the way through Wednesday. We'll see highs near 91 all the way through Wednesday. We got a chance for some isolated thunderstorms out of the heat of the day, thanks to the heat and the humidity mixed together. And we'll take a look at what all that looks like in your future skycast coming up.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. This morning, Longview police continue to investigate a shooting that left one person dead and another hurt. This happened Friday night at an apartment complex on Bostic Drive. Longview police say they found two people with gunshot wounds just after 10:30 that night. Police say Jonathan Lee was found dead at the scene. Another person was taken to the hospital, but it is expected to be okay. Police do believe this was an isolated incident and have not caught the suspect yet involved in this shooting. Anyone with information is asked to contact Longview police.
An investigation is underway after a 15-year-old was accidentally shot in a Cherokee County home. It happened around 3:30 Saturday afternoon at a home near Covenant Church. Authorities say the teen was flown to a Dallas hospital. We are working to learn more about his condition. Authorities say another 15-year-old was involved. Cherokee County Sheriff's Office detectives are handling this case. The sheriff said it is unclear if any charges will be filed.
7:04 now. Investigators are still working to piece together details surrounding the assassination of a conservative political activist, Charlie Kirk.
Kirk's alleged assassin, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, could make his first court appearance as soon as tomorrow. Official charges are also expected to be filed ahead of the suspect's first court appearance. The Utah County Sheriff says Robinson is being closely watched in a special housing unit. This comes as details are emerging about the suspect. And yesterday, authorities said that Robinson is not answering questions, but noted that Robinson's roommate is cooperating. Now, Charlie Kirk was just 31 years old when he was gunned down, and he leaves behind a wife and two children, an influential figure among Republicans, especially those of a younger demographic. Kirk hosted a popular podcast bearing his name, and he also co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012. Now, Turning Point is a nonprofit that promotes conservatism on high school and college campuses across the country, including here in East Texas. He was outspoken about both his political beliefs and his Christian faith. David Herndon is the lead pastor at Tyler's Living Hope Church, and he always admired Kirk's willingness to engage in conversations with those who had different views.
When you talk to somebody, even when you disagree with them, you ultimately challenge them and they ultimately challenge you. And that's so important. It opens up your mind. It opens up your heart to be able to say, hey, well, I hadn't thought about that. Or, well, he may be right on something. because ultimately any issue of life has complexity to it.
Charlie Kirk's public memorial service is scheduled for Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. President Trump says he plans to attend.
Meanwhile, followers of Charlie Kirk continue to mourn his loss. Hundreds of vigils have been held since his assassination, including this one in Houston last night. Organizers say the vigil was about peace and faith, remembering Kirk's life and his work. And people there also spoke out against hateful rhetoric in the days since his death, calling for civility, even as emotions run high.
If somebody disagrees with you, ask why. Try to get to know them. Try to get to know people and their thoughts and ideas, and then you can agree to disagree. But what is not acceptable is political violence.
Well, the event remained peaceful last night as Houston police and other law enforcement were patrolling the park to keep everyone safe. Overseas now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio traveled to Israel over the weekend, meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and pushing for a way forward in Gaza. This comes as President Trump is also pressing for new sanctions against Russia. Rubio joined Netanyahu at the Western Wall in Jerusalem in a public show of support for Israel. Ahead of that trip, Rubio said the focus must now be finding a pathway forward.
What's happened has happened. Obviously, we were not happy about it. The president was not happy about it. Now we need to move forward and figure out what comes next.
Meanwhile, Israel has stepped up airstrikes in Gaza City, and the president is urging NATO allies to toughen sanctions on Russia over its war in Ukraine.
7 minutes after 7 now, time for your morning headlines. President Trump says he is ready to level more sanctions on Russia on the condition that all NATO countries stop buying Russian oil. The president's weekend announcement comes as Romania became the second NATO country to report a Russian drone incursion. Last week, Russia launched a series of drones over Polish airspace, marking Russia's most serious incursion of another country since it launched its war against Ukraine. TikTok could be pulled from U.S. app stores on Wednesday unless a non-Chinese company buys it. President Donald Trump says officials from the U.S. and China are trying to reach an agreement for such a sale. The ban, signed into law last year, cites national security and data privacy concerns. Former President Joe Biden approved the measure, but President Trump has delayed it 3 times. He could do so again with an executive order. Gooder Foods is recalling some batches of its vegan is believin' plant-based white cheddar and here comes truffle cheddar pastas. The FDA warns that the product's labels do not warn consumers that those flavors may contain milk or cashews, which could cause a severe or life-threatening reaction for people with dairy or nut allergies. Now, if you have these products, you are advised to not eat them and instead return the product for a refund. And now to the Vatican, where crowds gathered to wish Pope Leo a happy birthday. The pontiff turned 70 yesterday and was greeted by well-wishers bearing signs and balloons. Pope Leo, who is the youngest pontiff in 4 decades, offered words of thanks to the Lord and to his parents and those who remembered him in their prayers.
All right, 7:09 this morning now. The stars were out in full force last night at the 77th Annual Emmy Awards. The Apple TV series The Studio broke the Emmy record for a comedy. And on the drama side of things, the HBO Max medical series The Pitt reached new heights. It won Outstanding Drama Series and Best Actor in a Drama Series for star Noah Wyle. Meanwhile, the audience rose to its feet with CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which is in its final season. It won Best Talk Series. We'll have a full recap of last night's awards later on in the show.
Let me tell you where the real drama was. On the field yesterday. What a game for those Dallas Cowboys. The Giants were off to a really good start and may have run away with this one, but 6 penalties in just the first quarter by New York kept this one close. Veteran quarterback Russell Wilson had his way with the Cowboys defense, though, throwing for 450 yards. Cowboys really struggling with Wilson's deep ball. But the boys, they didn't give up. Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey came through clutch. It was crazy. At the end of the game, he sent the game into overtime with a huge 64-yard field goal. Wasn't done there, though. Cowboys would get down the field with just enough time in OT for Brandon Aubrey to do it again, hit that game winner. Cowboys win a thriller, 40-37. Next Sunday, the boys travel to Chicago to face the Bears. Wasn't the same fate for Chiefs and their fans. Yeah, it was a Super Bowl rematch between Kansas City and Philadelphia. Two Texas natives here, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, going at it. Eagles score first in that one. KC was driving for the potential go-ahead touchdown, but Mahomes' pass goes off the hands of Travis Kelce. Texas X, Andrew Makuba, picks it up and returns it. And then the Eagles do what they do with the tush push, putting it out of reach. Eagles win this one 20-17. All right, we're going to take a little break from news and all the Cowboys action for our question of the day. Here it is for you. How do you take your steak? Does any of that look like how you would do it? I never seen blue before. That was my first.
I've never seen a cartoon image of steaks, if I'm being honest.
Blue? Where do you see it blue?
I'm a medium rare.
Medium rare. I'm at medium rare as well.
Medium for me.
Medium.
Yeah, I think I'm medium rare. I'm kind of in the middle. That's like my ideal. It's like right in the middle. It's weird.
As long as it's not well done,
Yeah, no,
respectfully.
no,
Respectfully.
I can't, yeah.
I can't do well done either. I do like my hamburgers well done.
That is different, yes.
That
But
is
some
different.
burgers, medium rare, are best tasting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
I want some burgers, not
Some burgers.
not well done all the way.
But for steak, yes, it's got to be medium rare. You got to see some red in there. I don't like it like,
Fully
bleeding.
cooked and chewy.
I don't like it bleeding.
You don't like it not cooked yet?
But I like it medium rare.
Nice. Some people on Facebook saying sort of along the same things we're saying. Sissy saying medium, Robin saying medium rare. I saw one here earlier that made me laugh. I'll have to find it here in a little bit. But Lori also saying, well done. Delicia saying well done too. And then Donnie saying rare. So there's a mixed bag of opinions.
Well done to me is like jerky. Mm-hmm. That's when you just made it beef jerky.
And called it a day.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
I know in barbecue they make like chopped brisket sandwiches, like pulled pork. But if you're getting it well done, I can only imagine like a chopped steak sandwich. Like that's the
Right.
only reason why because you're not gonna eat that. There's no way you could eat that.
It just makes it hard to chew too at the end of the day.
Yeah. And another thing too, like for me, I like ribeye. Like when I'm not on counting the calories, like ribeye is my favorite. And I could not imagine a well done ribeye. That would just be not a fun time.
Not done.
I'm definitely a filet kind of girl. What about y'all?
Filet, hands down.
Not really.
No?
No?
What
Not
do
a
you-
beef person?
Not really. I mean, yeah, I guess in some cases, yeah.
He's like, no.
Tried to make a steak at home and it never turns out the way I want to. So let me just have someone else do it for me.
Yeah.
I could do it for you.
Yeah,
I'll bring a steak over.
I can cook me a mean steak. I'm not gonna lie. Only time beef needs to be done well done is when you're cooking ground beef, in my opinion.
Me too.
Other than that, though, if it's a steak and that thing comes out well done, we're gonna have a problem.
We're gonna have a problem.
Oh, yeah, we got a problem.
David's gonna be throwing some hands out
He's
here.
gonna be like, this steak is for you. I'm not going to have this. All right.
Well, I know it says in the prompter we're coming up with sports, but I think we scored a little bit. What we actually got, it's got that traffic, baby.
That's
and
right.
I don't know, this traffic might be good enough. You might be able to eat a steak during traffic.
Right.
Yeah, definitely be careful if you're going to do that this morning for sure. But yeah, traffic is in pretty good shape this morning. Let's take a look at our CBS19 on-scene unit this morning. We are in... Okay, I'm so sorry. We are actually just going to go ahead and with our I-20 report. We do have 2 hours to get to Dallas this morning, so no major slowdowns in that direction. And in the eastbound direction, we got an hour and 30 minutes to get to Shreveport. As for US 69, north and south are both in really good shape. We've got 2.5 hours to get up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes to get to Lufkin. CBS 19 Live radar this morning is a nice clean sweep across the area. That will change to an extent for this afternoon. We'll have a couple of showers randomly popping up out of the heat of the day, mainly south of I-20 over Jacksonville, Henderson, Nacogdoches Center. These are going to be really, really random in nature, so not all of us will see rain today, but those that do will likely see rain for maybe about 15 to 20 minutes, but that's about it. It's going to be very small in coverage, and we won't be really picking up too much in the way of rainfall. So your commute forecast going forward, giving you green all the way through. We're all clear for this morning. All clear for this afternoon. We'll see high temperatures in the low to mid 90s with a mix of clouds and sun, and some of those clouds may be rain showers.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Still ahead in sports, we're closing out a big week of high school football, and we're getting ready for week 4. And that also means we're going to tell you where our game of the week is straight ahead.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Welcome back, East Texas. I'm Damian Bartonic, and you know what time it is. Time to talk all things sports. Week 3 of the high school football season was amazing. We had big plays, big hits, and so many games going down to the wire. But I'd say the game of the week was our game of the week, as Lindale welcomed in the Van Vandals in the battle of the undefeateds, as someone's O had to go. And these guys came to play. It's been a rivalry just fueled over generations of battles. So much to go on here. And for that first drive of the game, the bartender's going to pour up a deep shot. You got Raleigh Hinch. He's going to find Ian Hobson on the deep ball. I mean, a beautiful throw, putting the Vandals in goal to go. And on the next play, Hinch, old school quarterback power, drives his way into the end zone to put the Vandals up 7-0. But the Eagles just answered back like they did all night. Jackson LeGros looking like Taysom Hill with that sleeve without turf tape, finding Caden Fowler on the goal ball. That knocks it up at 7 apiece. And after a Van 3-and-out on this next play, Lindale's driving like they're on I-20, and David Lindick just shows off the speed. He goes all the way to the house. You're going to see him exit the frame and come right back and say, "Hey, Damon, how you doing? You're the best here at CBS 19 in sports. We love you so much." I'm just joking. We love Jimmy and Dan too. But Van ain't quitting. Hinch is going to find Mr. Longhair, don't care, Ian Hobson again on the deep ball. Touchdown Vandals, knotting this one up at 14-all. And this was just an electric ball game from start to finish. But it all came down to this next play you're going to see right here. 2nd and goal, Lindale football, tied at 49. I mean, what an atmosphere. You heard all the cheers as soon as he broke all those tackles. I mean, it's crazy. East Texas is just different. Quarterback David Lindig got his number called, old school quarterback stretch, and number 1 brought home the dub for the boys in black and blue. The Eagles went on to win 56-49, scoring with under 30 seconds left in the game. And after a moment like that, I had to catch up with QB1 after bringing the Eagles home their 3rd win of the season. Damian Bartonic here with none other than Lindale quarterback David Lindig. Hey, what a game. Yeah. What a performance. Before we even get to the game-winning play, 3rd and 20, 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Your out route, beautiful ball. Yeah. Quarterback sweep on 4th. What does that say about your team, bro?
We're undeniable, man. We always talk about our plan to win, and our 7th point of the plan to win is play as hard as it takes for as long as it takes, and that's what we did tonight. I think we're one of the toughest teams in the 903, and it showed tonight, so. That's it, just our preparation that went into it and the confidence we had because of it.
You told me earlier in the week that it feels great to be a Lindale Eagle. Yeah. How great does it feel beating a rival? You told me you're also going to let the pads talk. Oh, yeah. I want you to tell me, man, how good does it feel to be a Lindale Eagle? Just all that wrapped up, how good does it feel?
I'm blessed, man, and it feels amazing. Yeah, like you said, we were going to let the pads talk, and that's what we did tonight. People have been down us all year. The school, so a little bit of the community a little bit, but now they know that we're undeniable. Those dudes across the road, they can't hang with us, and that's what we showed tonight.
My last one for you, man. Coach told me that this win embodies that, or shows that you guys are resilient. That's the word. You said undeniable. Man, when fans hear these things, they're gonna think, hey man, we might do something this year. We might go somewhere this year. Yeah. How do you feel about that, knowing that now the expectations are going to start being raised even higher? And really, man, it looks like you guys are never going to go down without a fight. And quite frankly, you guys ain't ever going down because you're undefeated.
Yeah. Like you said, the expectations are going to raise, but we're still the same team. That's all that really applies to us. We got district coming up soon, and we're looking forward to that. But next week we got Gilmer, and we're just trying to go 1-0 right there. So, like you said, there's momentum to that, but we're trying to go 1-0 and beat Gilmer next week.
Absolutely. Hey, D, my boy, appreciate you, man. Athlete, what a player. That'll put a bow on week 3. Fantastic by so many teams in East Texas, especially Lindale and Van. Despite Van not winning, still a fantastic performance for them. But in week 4, we got plenty of great matchups in our game of the week. Hey, let me just show you right here. That's right, undefeated Carthage, undefeated Chapel Hill going to battle on Friday night at 7:30 live from Bulldog Stadium. Of course, it's battling them dogs. So many great matchups in this one to watch. Just so much talent and so many guys that can be playing on Saturdays at the next level. I can't wait for it. Tune in to Under the Lights Friday night and, of course, throughout the week here on Morning Y'all, as I'll be going to both practices and bringing you the latest from both of these teams. So much to look for, so many matchups. I mean, Chapel Hill has scored 40+ in every game this year. Carthage hasn't allowed more than 10 points. Oh my goodness, so much going on. We've got a lot of good ball for you. And hey, with that said, that's your Monday Morning Sports. Dana, Jesus, my friends, hey, take it away.
All right, Damian, thanks so much. All right, we're about to step away for a moment while we do our over-the-air broadcast with a quick news update.
We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. East Texans are remembering political activist Charlie Kirk, who was gunned down last week at just 31 years old. He'd become an influential figure among Republicans, especially those of a younger demographic. Kirk hosted a popular podcast bearing his name and also co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012. David Herndon is the lead pastor at Tyler's Living Hope Church, and he always admired Kirk's willingness to engage in conversations with those who had different views.
When you talk to somebody, even when you disagree with them, you ultimately challenge them and they ultimately challenge you. And that's so important. It opens up your mind. It opens up your heart to be able to say, hey, well, I hadn't thought about that, or, well, he may be right on something. Because ultimately, any issue of life has complexity to it.
Charlie Kirk's public memorial service is scheduled for Sunday at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. President Trump says he plans to attend. The Texas Education Agency will investigate public school teachers and staff accused of posting or sharing, quote, reprehensible and inappropriate content on social media relating to the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Now, the agency announced these investigations in a letter from the TEA Commissioner, Mike Morath, that was sent out to superintendents across the state. At least a dozen teachers have been placed on leave or fired for their comments about the shooting. In a letter, Morath says, quote, these educators' comments do not reflect the vast majority of Texas teachers who are dedicated practitioners that work diligently to serve the more than 5.5 million impressionable young minds in our classrooms.
Now to the state capitol, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is criticizing an executive order by Governor Greg Abbott that he signed last week. Now, the governor's order directs state agencies to ban the sale of hemp products to minors. In a statement Friday, the lieutenant governor said, quote, the governor's executive order, intentionally or not, has sent a signal to the THC industry that they say have a state seal on approval on the current THC market. Now, Governor Abbott issued an executive order to regulate those products after lawmakers failed to reach a compromise. Patrick pushed for a ban, calling the products dangerous for kids and teens. All right, let's get a check on that forecast now with Joel. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, today we'll see highs in the low to mid 90s with some spotty showers across the area, mostly across deep East Texas. As we look at future skycasts, it'll be very random in nature. Not all of us will see rain, but those that do will get in on maybe 15 to 20 minutes of rainfall, but that's about it. We repeat the process as we move into Tuesday as well, starting things off dry. Clouds develop. Rain showers develop, again, mainly south of I-20 over deep East Texas. Some of that could linger across I-20 and maybe further north, but it'll be very few and far between. Our 7-day forecast is pretty copy and paste with that same scenario, and then we got a cold front moving in by Thursday evening into Friday with some elevated rain chances.
Just after 7:30 this morning, welcome back to Morning Y'all here on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is pushing back against Governor Abbott's new hemp order, that is, saying it could send the wrong message to the THC industry. We'll break down both sides of the debate coming up.
And the Barrels and Brews Festival in Longview isn't just about beer and music. It is about raising money for Alzheimer's patients and their caregivers. How the event is making a real difference, straight ahead.
And in your forecast, we're looking at another hot and humid day with some spotty showers in the afternoon. Through the rest of this morning, we're going to be jumping up into the upper 80s to low 90s during the early afternoon. I'll show you how long that trend will last on your forecast on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all, on this Monday. Thanks for staying with us on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon.
Glad you're staying with us here. I'm Jesus Martinez. Well, to the state capitol this morning, where Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is criticizing an executive order by Governor Greg Abbott that he signed last week.
The governor's order directs state agencies to ban the sale of hemp products to minors. Now, in a statement on Friday, the lieutenant governor said, quote, the governor's executive order intentionally or not, has sent a signal to the THC industry that they have a state seal of approval on the current THC market. The lieutenant governor says this isn't personal, but a disagreement over policy. Governor Abbott issued an executive order to regulate the products after lawmakers failed to reach a compromise. Patrick had pushed for a full ban, calling the products dangerous to kids and teens. A ban did pass during the session, but the governor vetoed it, choosing regulation instead. Abbott says he couldn't let the status quo continue.
Some of this, can and should be done by the legislature. Because it wasn't done by the legislature, I wasn't going to delay and trying to act as strongly as I could to try to reduce this product in the marketplace.
The Texas Health Department and the Alcoholic Beverage Commission will start drafting new rules in the coming weeks.
All right, 7:33 now. Closer to home, thousands of families in East Texas are touched by Alzheimer's disease. And over the weekend, the community raised a glass to help their neighbors and the East Texas Alzheimer Alliance who serve these families.
Yeah, CBS 19's Will Riddell has more on how the Barrels and Brews Festival generated money for some important work.
Sipping on beer and bubbly is fun, there's no denying that, but the money being raised Saturday inside Maud Cobb was for Alzheimer's, a condition Meredith May knows is serious.
It impacts a whole lot of people in the community, either as patients or as people who are providing caregiving.
The annual Barrels and Brews Festival supports the East Texas Alzheimer's Alliance, or ETAA. May sits on its board of directors. The organization provides crucial services like Project Lifesaver, tracking bands given to those with memory loss.
As a lot of people know, Alzheimer's patients sometimes wander, and so these are ways of, if heaven forbid that happens, they can be found quickly.
May's family has a history of the disease, and she says as important as it is to care for the patient, you need to keep the family members, oftentimes the caregivers, in mind as well.
In fact, statistics show that caregivers themselves tend to wind up suffering from heart attacks and other kinds of diseases from the stress of it. In fact, my grandmother was perfectly healthy, and then as a caretaker for her mother, wound up having a heart attack from the stress.
Cody Campbell attended Saturday's fundraiser in Longview. He shouldered much of the responsibility when his grandmother started to suffer from dementia.
It was very tough to watch her decline, going from the strong, independent woman that I knew her as to someone that was completely dependent on me, my mom, and the rest of the family for her wellness and well-being.
And it's that desire to lighten the load of caretakers that fuels May and her colleagues.
So much of our services are focused on not just the person who has Alzheimer's, but the caregiver themselves, because that is an extraordinarily hard position to be in.
In Longview, Will Riddell, CBS 19.
All right, well, the Emmys had the stage rocking last night as the Apple TV series The Studio broke Emmy records for a comedy on the road. And on the drama side...
Yeah, The Pit reaching new heights, right? Dina Demetrius is in Los Angeles with a wrap-up of the 77th Emmy Awards.
Thank you so much to the Academy.
HBO Max's medical series The Pit came out on top at this year's Emmys, winning for Outstanding Drama Series and Best Actor in a Drama Series for star Noah Wyle.
What a dream this has been.
The Studio.
With 13 trophies, the Apple TV Hollywood satire The Studio set a record for the most wins by comedy in a season, including Outstanding Comedy Series and Outstanding Lead Actor for star and producer Seth Rogen.
I'm legitimately embarrassed by how happy this makes me.
Hack star Jean Smart won Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy for the 4th time, and Severance's Britt Lauer won Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama.
Getting to play this role in all of her layers has been a real kind of meeting of a soulmate.
Netflix's crime drama Adolescence scored the Emmy for limited or anthology series, and its 15-year-old star Owen Cooper became the youngest male Emmy winner ever.
I really don't know what to say, really, but yeah, it just means the world to me.
The audience rose to its feet when The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which is in its final season, won Best Talk Series.
I want to thank CBS for giving us the privilege to be part of the late night tradition.
In addition to the awards, viewers were treated to a number of tributes to iconic TV shows.
Thank you for being a friend.
Reba McEntire sang the Golden Girls theme in honor of the comedy's 40th anniversary. The Law & Order franchise and Gilmore Girls also marked milestones. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Seems like a great night out there. There's another award that wasn't mentioned on there, but it was for, I had it pulled up here. It was for the Best Outstanding Reality. The Traitors won for that one,
really?
beating out Top Chef, Survivor, and a couple other shows. So if y'all haven't seen Traitors, it's an up-and-coming reality TV show. They are doing it with people that are famous already, but now they're coming out with a new spin-off of that with just normal people.
Normal people, okay.
And so that'll be more interesting to see how people that don't know each other from the Hollywood world interact with one another in this TV show.
We'll have to see. I like the show The Pit. I started watching it. I'm going to have to see about the studio. I haven't started watching that one yet, but The Pit is pretty good.
Pretty good. Have you watched any of those shows? These are the first times I've heard of these shows.
If it's not sports, he isn't watching it.
I told y'all last week. I was like, man, I'm sorry, man. If it's not involving a ball, I'm probably not watching it.
If it doesn't have ball, you won't watch it.
But hey. I want to hear about this next story because I didn't really get to I was very interested about it.
He's intrigued in this. So we talked about this earlier, but like we mentioned, Halloween is quickly approaching. And one of the biggest treats is actually, like Damien mentioned, from Home Depot, but people aren't clamoring for the gigantic skeleton or scary looking witch. Rather, they're going for this. It's a limited edition bucket. People are going crazy over it. Now, the customers are about $3 and they look like the store's traditional Home Depot buckets, but with a little spooky twist. You see the bats, the moon, the jack-o'-lanterns.
I started Googling because I was trying to figure out why these are going so viral. They're the 2-gallon ones. I think people just think it'd be good to hold your candy. That's what I was reading. Maybe to hold the candy, or you could take it trick-or-treating with you. Although kind of 2 gallons is a lot.
It is a lot of candy too.
Well, especially like these days, right? People get like the little minis, right? And they toss them out, hand them out. Imagine how many I like Snickers, so how many Snickers minis could fit in there?
You're gonna have to buy a lot more though with all this shrinkflation.
Yeah, I don't. Man, that's crazy. At first I thought it was the big ones.
I did too.
I was like, okay. And then once you said they're $3, I was like, ain't no way that big old bucket is $3.
It's the 2-gallon one, but I think it's the price tag. I think that's probably why they're going
also
viral.
probably for decoration purposes.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know something, Dana? This next one. Hey, you could fit a lot of this next story in those buckets too. You know what I mean?
Yes, this Monday is when Americans can double up on one of their favorite foods. I like it in its single version. That's because September 15th is National Double Cheeseburger Day. And while the hamburger sandwich first appeared in the 19th or early 20th century, there's still some dispute exactly over where that happened. But regardless of the debate, there is no doubt that the burger has become a culinary icon in the U.S. over the years. Burgers have gotten bigger with essential add-ons like cheese and bacon. To celebrate the day, it's suggested you just go ahead, grill out, share your pictures of the meal, of your favorite burger joint on social media as well.
And I like how you mentioned essential toppings. They have to be on there for it to be a good burger.
You think? I like mine sometimes just meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese, that's it?
Sometimes.
What's like your must ingredient on a burger?
For me, I mean, it's lettuce and cheese for sure, and then maybe some ketchup on it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would
I like that.
I do like pickles on my burger though.
Mine would be sauteed onions.
That's good.
Yeah, that's also pretty good for sure. I think when it comes to like double cheeseburgers, I think if the meat is thin enough, then I could do it. But it's just some of these are just
like a
huge.
Freddy's steak burger.
Yeah, like that exactly.
Yeah, they're making me feel fat as heck.
No, I'm with you on this one. They're saying single patties. I'm going with the double with you.
I'll go with some double. I need to have some mayonnaise. Mayonnaise and ketchup are my ideal. My ideal is like Whataburger, double meat, mayonnaise, ketchup, lettuce, grilled onions, tomatoes. No pickles. I'm not a.
You don't like pickles?
This is crazy. Only if they're fried. But then again, what isn't good fried?
Right.
No,
I agree. Last week we talked about that Dairy Queen burger with the Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
I tried it. Did you try it?
No.
I tried it. It's really, really good. It's sweet, but not too overbearingly because it has bacon and the patty on it, which balances it out. So if you haven't tried it, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, you said.
Who's hungry here now?
We all are. None of us had breakfast. At least I didn't.
No, I didn't either. No, I did not either.
That's crazy. All right, well, we're getting some incredible images from space this morning. The Webb telescope captured spectacular fireworks happening on the outskirts of the Milky Way galaxy. Scientists at NASA described the eruption of gases as, quote, volcanically growing monster star. Wow. Wild, right? Some have compared it to the light show to a double-bladed lightsaber from the Star Wars movies. And NASA scientists say there could be other massive stars like this one in the universe. Now, the information about the star is expected to be published soon in the Astrophysical Journal.
You gonna pick that up? That Astrophysical Journal when it comes out?
No. I'll read about it on whatever
That is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, that is gorgeous.
It looks like a like one of those 70s or 80s like rock album covers.
Oh, it kind of does. I love that.
Like that is amazing. That is
like a Queen album or something.
Yeah,
it definitely worked for that.
It's crazy to see that all this is just happening right up there,
Out there.
outside of our backyards,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well, and it's crazy because we say up there, but we don't realize like up there is like millions of miles away.
Right.
So it looks like it's like, oh, it's just happening not too far away.
Yeah, well, we say up there
Light
because
years.
our point of view is north, but what if it's like on the other side of the planet and it's happening on the
somewhere.
other end,
We'll go with
somewhere.
out there.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out
Out
there in
there.
the big old wide world. And somewhere out there in the big old wide world, it's raining, but not here.
That was good.
But
yeah.
it could be.
It could be.
It could be
Later today.
It could be raining today in some spots. I think most of us are going to be pretty dry, but you can't rule out maybe a couple of random pop-up showers that could affect your backyards today. So definitely not a bad idea to take an umbrella with you as you head out the door for today. Most of the rain is going to be positioned over Deep East Texas, but right now the picture is nice and clear across the area, and our Tyler cam is just absolutely gorgeous this morning. We got blue skies overhead, temperatures rather comfortable in the middle to upper 60s. We got some lower 70s in some locations, but the humidity is also kind of sticking around with us as well. So it's making it feel like, especially this afternoon with temperatures in the low to mid 90s, I definitely think we have a chance to at least feel like the middle 90s. So not much of a difference, but still a little bit hotter as you head out the door for today. We'll have partly cloudy skies, kind of a mix of clouds and sun. Some of those will become rain showers, especially over Deep East Texas. If you want to get out on the patio today, it's a pretty good day to do so until you get to the afternoon, I would say. You got temperatures aiming for the upper 80s to low 90s by the time we get to 4 o'clock. Kind of that mix of clouds and sun starting to build in, so the best time to really get out on the patio is going to be in the morning. That trend of low 90s with rain chances continues all the way through Wednesday. We got 91, 91, and 91, and those low temperatures are also the same as well in my forecast. We got low temperatures around 70 and isolated thunderstorms with a 30% chance to see that each and every afternoon. I'll show you what the rest of your 7-day forecast looks like up ahead.
Thank you, Joel. Still to come, the next generation of influencers. Not scrolling, they're planning. How one high school is turning social media into a serious business lesson.
All right, 747, welcome back. Social media isn't just about the likes and the follows anymore. It has now become a business.
I mean, it has. Alex Dominguez takes us to one high school in Arizona, teaching students how to make social media content with a purpose.
Today we're going to do our first piece of our creation.
In this class, social media is the lesson, but not in the ways you may think.
You're going to pretend like you are launching your very first platform. We don't have access to phones. They don't spend the class scrolling TikTok and Instagram. We're actually building more of their awareness.
The course is designed to show teenagers that social media is about more than just posting for fun. It's about strategy.
This class is very much focused on the ever-changing landscape of marketing and the way that social media is taking over everything these days. So what it does is it teaches the kids not only ethical social media use, appropriate social media use.
That means teaching students about their digital footprint and that what they post is oftentimes on the internet forever.
I know that social media is inevitable. There's no avoiding it, and I'd rather be literate in it than see it as a distraction and use it as a tool to better myself.
The approach is giving students like Peyton Kramer a new perspective on an industry that now generates billions of dollars.
Sometimes whenever you're just doom scrolling, you don't think of the effort and the thought behind each video, but now I kind of see each video from a different lens of the creator rather than just the viewer that they want you to be.
Others see it as a launching pad for their future careers.
I am trying to become a business owner so I can learn to put myself out there more, try and get more views, more attention, so people will at least know about me, probably be interested in what I'd be doing, selling, or services.
Background colors, font, whatever it is that speaks to you.
We are living in a world where artificial intelligence is also playing a factor when it comes to content, and we're seeing AI influencers. What does that mean for perhaps a career in social media?
When it comes to the actual content creation, I think that AI content creation is just not going to be the same as if it's human-made.
It's crazy that it's become a whole business now.
I know.
It is wild.
When I'm seeing someone on social media, I want to see a real person, though.
Right.
Not the AI version.
I agree. It's better to just have real people out there, you know?
It's too perfect, almost, like flaws are what make us who we are.
Right. That's why we stumble. Just keep on going.
Well, I mean, because we're not perfect
Exactly.
people,
We're totally human. You know?
Right. I like how
they're
also teaching them about their digital footprint, because a lot of kids don't know.
Right?
Even adults don't know is whatever you share or like on social media is shared with everyone else, whether it's a feature on an app or good or bad.
Good or bad. And watch what you say about anything. Whether you perceive someone good or evil, right or wrong, you got to watch what you say. And yeah, man, I mean, that class is awesome. I mean, for kids, especially in these days, I wish I would have got that class when I was, because I was kind of like, my generation was kind of like at the beginning of when everything started to boom, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's crazy.
And they're also learning how to run a business with it as well.
Yeah.
That one kid was like, I want to own my own business, and I want to learn how to get more eyes on my business, which turns out to be more money.
It's huge. Yeah. It's great for networking.
Absolutely.
You have LinkedIn, you basically anything, just putting yourself out there. Got to be careful, of course, but it's really great for networking,
And for, like you said, marketing their business.
Oh,
don't keep doom scrolling.
Right.
I learned a new word today. I did not know what doom scrolling
brain rotting. Just
brain
scrolling endlessly without a goal. Just a scroll.
Just a scroll.
All right, let's get back to our question of the day today. And a lot of people were interested in this one.
A lot of people like steaks.
That's really good.
I know I like steak. How do you take your steak? The majority of us here take it medium rare, right? Isn't that what we decided?
I'll get some medium rare.
Medium, I right down the middle, medium.
You're right down the middle. And you're somewhere
in the middle.
between.
Now, there is one thing. I guess we were so excited to talk about this question, we almost forgot to talk about my boy's weather. We skipped over his weather.
Oh, gosh.
We skipped Joel again.
That's okay. I got a little excited, too. But for sure. Yeah, we are looking at a pretty copy and paste forecast going forward. Another hot and muggy day here. As we head into this afternoon, we'll be jumping up into the low 90s during the early afternoon. Here comes the clouds. It all starts with clouds. Some of those clouds will eventually become rain showers in some parts of the area. Not all of the clouds will be rain showers, but some of the clouds may actually become some brief pop-up showers. We'll see highs today in the low 90s in our northern parts of the area, central parts of the area, and upper 80s in some of our southern parts of the area. This is due to those rain showers that we're going to be watching for into this afternoon. Whatever rain we get will be very, very brief, last maybe 15 to 20 minutes. That's about it. But here's what it looks like on your future skycast. So most of the rain this afternoon will set up over Deep East Texas in the form of spotty showers. That'll start to wear off as we head into the rest of the evening. Sunsets, we're going to be done with the rain activity. Should have clear skies overhead by the time we get to the overnight. And as we go into Tuesday, we repeat the process again. Most of the rain, again, setting up over Deep East Texas. That's where the hottest temperatures and the most moisture is going to be setting up, so that all of that is going to be taken advantage of by these rain showers. And can't rule out maybe a couple of showers maybe making their way along and north of I-20, but it's really going to be isolated. Not a lot of us will see rain. And even over Deep East Texas, not a lot is going to be seeing rain either. How much rain are we talking? Well, at least maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe half an inch, especially over deep East Texas. But we go further to the north, maybe trace amounts, maybe up to about 1/10 of an inch. It's really not going to be all that impressive. Maybe some heavy downpours in some of these locations here, maybe half an inch, but it's really going to vary very widely, and it's going to be very few and far between. We repeat this process all the way through Wednesday, potentially into your Thursday as well. Then we're watching a cold front to move in. By Thursday evening into Friday morning, could see more widespread rain showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, and temperatures will be dropping into the upper 80s. Rain chances slowly tapering off by Sunday.
All right, let's get back to the question. We had to let this question sear a little bit, you know? It's all about that perfectness of the steak. How do you take your steak? We were talking about all the different things. Some people like it very well done, which respectfully, no.
Yeah.
I don't want a chewy steak.
What is blue?
Yeah.
Jay in the booth said it was still good. He said
well done is good. I think it can have
hating.
flavor, but it doesn't have tenderness.
Yeah.
You can have flavor without tenderness, and I just prefer mine tender.
But it just seems like, but that's such a hard thing to achieve, though, is to be flavorful and like to be not tender but flavorful seems very hard to achieve because a lot of times
depends on the spices you have on it and how you marinated it or whatever.
Yeah, but if you cook it for so long too, eventually
some of that.
Yeah, because I don't know how the people over our neighbors at Texas Roadhouse do it, because they have dozens of guests and they have to keep track of every single steak and how
they want it cooked.
They want it, yeah, which is insane.
People are talking on Facebook. David said, you know, when we asked how do you take your steak, he said on someone else's plate. I guess steak is not his personal, that's not his journey, but I would say most people are medium to medium rare. There are a few blues on here. That's how Brooke likes hers. Donnie likes his rare, but overwhelmingly
medium rare.
Medium rare. Lori likes hers well done. And then Matthew says it depends on where I'm getting it. If it's a good place, blue or rare, medium rare for a run-of-the-mill place.
Damien's face is like, no.
Blue is crazy. I'll take my steak looking like that right there.
Yeah.
That steak right there looks very, very good. Nice little char on it. You know what I mean? There was a place I used to like, my dad and I, it's like a little personal thing. It was called Texas Land and Cattle. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I've been to one of them before.
Man, me and my dad, growing up, that was like a baller place. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we go to Texas Land and Cattle, we got some money. You know what I mean?
Oh, steak is good. I love a good steak. Yeah. All right, well, we're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update.
Yeah, we'll be right back here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thank you for joining us for this news update. An investigation is underway after a 15-year-old was accidentally shot in a Cherokee County home. It happened around 3:30 Saturday afternoon at a home near Covenant Church. Authorities say the teen was flown to a Dallas hospital. We are working to learn more about his condition. Authorities say another 15-year-old was involved. Cherokee County Sheriff's Office detectives are handling this case right now. The sheriff said it is unclear if any charges will be filed. Well, this morning, Longview police continue to investigate a shooting that left one person dead and another hurt. It happened Friday night at an apartment complex on Bostic Drive. Longview police found two people with gunshot wounds just after 10:30. Now, police say Jonathan Lee was found dead at the scene. Another person was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police believe this is an isolated incident and have not caught the suspect involved in the shooting. Anyone with information related to the shooting is asked to contact Longview Police.
Well, big changes are underway for Smith County ESD2 as they work to improve emergency response times all over the county. ESD2 has bought several new properties to relocate and build permanent fire stations, hoping to cut down on response times and expand coverage where it's most needed. Operations Fire Chief Eric Grieser, that is, says heat maps of high-call areas guide the moves, and one new site near Lake Palestine, south of Highway 155 by Berkshire's, targets a growing hotspot for emergencies.
Seconds matter in terms of how fire grows, and it doubles in intensity about every minute and a half. But lives matter in terms of people that are having a cardiac arrest. And unless interventions are made quickly, lives are oftentimes not saved. And so the quicker that we can get there is really lives saved.
Well, Chief Grieser says they plan to break ground within the next 6 to 8 months. Other land acquisitions include a site in the Dixie district of Highway 31 near Old Chandler Highway.
All right, let's get a check of your weather now. Hey there, Joel.
Hey there. Yeah, things are going to be really hot and humid once again into this afternoon. We'll see highs in the low to mid 90s. Our average this time of year, 89. So we are going to be slightly above that, but not too much so. We do have partly cloudy skies and spotty rain chances also, mainly over Deep East Texas. This is what it looks like on your future skycast. So very spotty, very random in nature. That's going to be for this afternoon. That'll taper off by the evening when the sun sets. We'll start our day with temperatures in the upper 60s and clear skies overhead. We'll repeat the process into Tuesday afternoon again, mainly just focusing across Deep East Texas. Could catch a couple of showers just north of I-20 there, but a lot of us will be staying dry. And even in areas over Deep East Texas, a lot of us will stay dry once again. And that will continue to be the case all the way through Thursday. We're watching a cold front to move in by Thursday afternoon into Friday. That'll bring us a larger complex of thunderstorms to be moving through by your Friday morning, and then rain chances do look to taper off ever so slightly into Saturday and especially into Sunday.
News before you head out this morning. Longview police are still investigating a deadly shooting. It happened Friday night at an apartment complex on Bostic Drive. Police say Jonathan Lee was found dead at the scene while another victim was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. Officers believe it was an isolated incident. The suspect has not been caught.
Meanwhile, on the international stage, Secretary of State Marco Rubio visited Israel this weekend. He met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the Western Wall, calling for a path forward with the war with Hamas. Meanwhile, President Trump is urging NATO allies to toughen sanctions on Russia and says he plans to raise trade issues with China in the days ahead.
And authorities are still piecing together all the details in the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Investigators say the suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, is under close watch in jail and could make his first court appearance as soon as tomorrow. Vigils for Kirk were held nationwide this weekend, and a public memorial is set for Sunday in Arizona. Now, final check at your forecast before we head out.
Yeah, the story of the day is not all will see rain. Actually, I think most will not see rain, but those that do, we'll see it for maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. All of that is mainly going to be setting up over deep East Texas, well south of I-20. You can just see how spotty and scattered they are. That'll continue through the afternoon, into the evening, start to wear away as the sun begins to set. We repeat the process as we go into Tuesday, starting things off dry and sunny. Once the heat comes up, got the clouds, got the rain showers starting to develop. Again, most of that will focus over deep East Texas. Can't rule out maybe a couple of more showers along and north of I-20, but most of the activity I do think will be over in deep East Texas with that more favorable environment in place in that direction. Same thing for Wednesday, all the way through Thursday, watching a cold front by Thursday afternoon and evening into Friday to bring a larger complex of thunderstorms into the area by that time frame. Temperatures will fall to the upper 80s. Rain chances dwindle as we go into Saturday and especially by Sunday.
All right, thank you, Joel. Well, this weekend, kids fighting cancer and their families got to experience the Hawkeye Wave from inside Kinnick Stadium. Thanks to the Why We Wave Foundation, more than 90 families from Stead Family Children's Hospital rode the Hawkeye Wave firsthand, cheering, smiling, and making memories that they will never forget. That's really sweet.
Ah.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite traditions in all of sports. Is that they wave at the children in the hospital,
yeah.
always. I don't know when that started, but when I first found that out, I was like, man, this is super awesome. And then as a kid, you're like, oh, I want to go to Iowa now.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, I want to. My mom would have went crazy if I tried to go to Iowa, but it's it's absolutely awesome.
It kind of gives you chills.
great.
Pretty
Yeah,
special.
for sure.
They have that, and they have like the other sports teams that throw teddy bears in the rinks too, and they
Really?
donate those teddy bears to the children's hospitals as well.
How
So,
sweet is that? I love that.
happens all over. I think that one's in for a hockey team. I can't remember which one, but
I know the Detroit Red Wings used to always, Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah.
They used to always like hold stuff like that. And then in San Antonio, there was a minor league team. Oh man, anything for the children, hats, clothes. You could throw everything on the ice, and they'll all just donate it. It was awesome.
that's awesome.
Love to see it. Kindness goes a long way.
Sure
That
does.
does. All right, thanks so much for continuing your day with us here on CBS 19 Plus's Morning, y'all. Catch the noon show. It's coming up on CBS 19 Plus as well, and on air at CBS 19.
That's right. Keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. And here's what's coming up on CBS 19 Plus. Have a great morning, and we'll see you dark and early tomorrow.